What is it? What's wrong?
Gabriel?
I see it, Grace. Hold on. There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in back. It's okay.
Okay. Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No. I'll take care of it.
But Gabriel...
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
They know where you live now.
Shh. It's gonna be fine. Now go on. Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No. I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Ugh. Not that they aren't still watching. Anyway, speaking of keeping busy, we got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on Rada drums.
Really? Great.
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back.
Special delivery, it seems.
It's just an envelope.
I can see that.
Gabriel eyes the surreptitiously delivered envelope. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it. The envelope is unmarked. Gabriel opens the envelope and finds a note from Mosley and a small brass key. It's a note from Mosley. Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested I take vacation time, so I am, at least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
the note is signed, Detective Mosley. The book contains several pages of Rada drum codes.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Times-Picayune, dated the 23rd of June, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. Jean's Eve. It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. Jean's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. Jean, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. Jean's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope. Today you will either die or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where?
The tracing is of a snake tattoo from Crash's chest.
will you do me a favor?
What?
Use your paints to copy this snake tattoo onto my chest.
Now why on earth would you want me to do that?
I'm going to a party tonight. Costume, you know.
You don't say. I guess you're going with Malia.
Yeah, that's right.
And why should I help you out? We don't even like Malia.
Well, if you're jealous about my feelings for her...
You know that's not it. I just think, as your friend, that she's trouble.
It's perfectly understandable. I know you have certain feelings for me, quite naturally.
Me? I would rather be hung by my hair over a bed of scorpions.
I know it must be hard having it in your face like this. No chance to avoid hearing about it, seeing it day by day.
Fine, I'll do it. Just shut up. Can we at least go in the back?
Sure, but could you say that one more time and pout your lips more?
Ugh.
What did I say?
All right, let's go. The shirt, please.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this moment.
Now. Hold still.
Maybe you'd like to tie me up?
One more remark, and I'm leaving.
Okay, okay.
Done. It's just stunning.
Sorry I couldn't make it last longer.
Well, it was about what I expected from you.
Are you gonna be okay here by yourself?
I'll be just fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie.
The vineyard vendor is unlikely to have information that Gabriel needs.
Hello.
What can I do for you, sir?
Say, haven't I seen you before?
I get around the French Quarter. Used to be at Royal and Conti.
You say you used to be at Royale and Conti?
That's right.
Why don't you go back there?
Do you think? I've been kind of torn. Must be the weather. These thick clouds we've had all week. I'm just not seeing the crowds here that I expected.
I definitely think you should go back to Royal and Conti.
Really? I'm glad you think so. I always liked that beat, but I thought I ought to give this a shot.
Oh, absolutely. The grass is always greener.
Exactly. You're right. I'm going back over there today.
Hey, it's... Grab me 3
Forget it.
rats. You stay put. I'll be back in a minute.
There's a tracking device in the drawer.
This tracker might come in handy. Hey, get out of there, you. Sorry, just looking for a restroom.
Gabriel listens carefully to the drums and opens his radar book to translate. If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct, there'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
Professor Hartridge said that in Voodoo, a small ritual coffin is called a seke module. A very large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage. It's a signal device for the tracker. This device is called a tracker. Gabriel remembers a time when he and Mosley used it illegally with a couple of babes in a white convertible. It operates as follows. The signal device attaches to an object, such as a car. The signal device emits a signal that appears on the tracker, LED, allowing the object to be tracked. Gabriel slips the signal device into the seke module.
Can I assist you, Mr. Knight?
No, just looking.
I hate to rush you, Mr. Knight, but I am afraid I must close the museum early this evening. This is St. John's Eve, and it's getting on towards dusk. I have things I must do.
I see. No problem. I'll just...
Leave. Goodbye, Mr. Knight. May the spirits guard you well tonight.
Gabriel pulls out the tracking device, hoping that the seke module made it to the ritual and that this thing will work.
All right. There's a blip. They must be here with the seke module.
Damn Mosley and his infernal machine. This better be working. Gabriel can barely focus on the LED with those drums in his head. He hopes he's reading it correctly. Damn Mosley and his infernal machine. This better be working. Gabriel hopes this tracking thing is working correctly. Damn Mosley and his infernal machine. This better be working. Gabriel can barely focus on the LED with those drums in his head. Didn't he just come from that direction? Gabriel feels so turned around. Gabriel hopes this tracking thing is working correctly. Damn Mosley and his infernal machine. The entrance to a clearing is marked with Voodoo skulls. At last!
When in Rome. Here goes nothing.
Welcome, Brother Crocodile. Please join the other celebrants.
Yes, Dr. John. Brother Eagle.
But first, name the great serpent who crushes all in his coils.
Dumbala.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Who is the destroyer of men?
Ogoun Badagris.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Enjoy yourself well tonight.
Gabriel!
Malia.
I know you now. I can smell his blood in your veins.
No.
You cannot change your destiny, or ours.
No.
I will find. I will destroy.
No!
Where is your necklace now, witch hunter? Where are your pretty gems?
Gabriel! Gabriel, wake up!
Ow, my head.
It's about time. I've been trying to wake you for hours. There's no time to lose.
I had another dream.
It wasn't a dream, believe me. Now come on, get dressed.
Wait a minute. I'm starting to remember. Something about Malia.
She's the head priestess of the Voodoo Cartel. They're responsible for the murders. They've been doing it for years.
Malia? Last night she was the leopard. Like in my dreams, Grace.
I know. Those dreams were a warning. Now come on, get dressed.
But last night, Malia changed. She became something else. And then I blacked out, I think. How did I get home?
I followed you last night. I had my doubts about the Gettys. Did you know that they arrived in New Orleans in 1800? Just in time for the voodoo influx. I knew you were going to try to sneak into a ceremony last night, so I followed you. Lucky for you that I did. If you'd been left at the circle last night, I don't know what she would have done to you.
You're wrong. Malia wouldn't hurt me.
What about Tetelo?
Tetelo? They were chanting that last night. That's the name from Gunter's journal. The woman who took the talisman.
Yes. Gabriel, it's your destiny you're facing. You can't just blunder your way through this or you'll end up dead. Tetelo will be after you now. You have to call your great-uncle in Germany.
Uncle Wolfgang?
Yes. He knows more about this than we do.
Okay, I'll call him. But Malia isn't responsible for those things, Grace. It's that spirit, that Loa. It's Tetelo.
Yeah. Possession is convenient that way. Call Wolfgang, Gabriel. I'll be in the shop.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht?
This is Gabriel Knight. Can I speak to Wolfgang, please?
Ja, Herr Knight. Einen Moment, bitte.
Gabriel, it's so good to hear your voice. I had such a dream last night.
There's a good reason for that, Uncle Wolfgang. We need to talk.
Gabriel fills in Wolfgang on the events of the previous evening.
Oh, it is even worse than I thought.
You bet it is. We have to talk about what I'm supposed to do. Tell me about Tetelo.
Well, from your description of the ritual last night, I'd say that Gunther's mistress, Tetelo, is now the primary Loa for the Gedde tribe. It seems she still controls them by possessing her female descendants and speaking through them. Do you remember in Gunther's journal he said that Tetelo was possessed by her father's Loa during the killings in Charleston?
This sounds similar, but Tetelo has obviously become a much more powerful Loa than her father ever was. Probably because of the added power of the talisman.
Let's talk about the talisman.
I myself have only seen it in old sketches and paintings, and in my dreams. It was in the family for centuries before Tetelo took it. It is believed to be as old as the role of Schattenjäger itself. The talisman has genuine power. I don't know how or why, but it is so. The Schattenjägers swore to use the power for good, never for evil. For defense, not offense. Since it fell into Tetlo's hands, I'm afraid to think what the power has been used for, or what it will be used for in the future. With the talisman, Tetlo has all the power and we none. The only possible way to fight her is to regain the talisman. Then we will at least be on more equal footing.
How can we regain the talisman?
We've been searching for the talisman for years, ever since we lost it. It's a terrible thing to know that something powerful that was entrusted to us is in the wrong hands. The talisman is probably buried with Tetlo's remains. That's what gives her Loa so much power.
How would we find Tetelo's remains?
Ha! We have pondered that question a long time, the Ritters. There are two probabilities. The first is that her remains are with the tribe at their current location. The other is that the remains were returned to a sacred place near the tribe's original homeland. We've tried to locate Tetelo's African homeland, but Gunter says so little in his journal about her tribe, and slaving records are practically non-existent. Also, Tetelo's tribe was utterly destroyed in its African form in the late 17th century. There was nothing like a census in Africa then. As for the other idea, we had no clue as to where Tetelo's people went after fleeing Charleston, until now.
Let's discuss the possible African homeland.
All right. Have you learned anything that might help us locate it?
I spoke with the Professor Hartridge. Unfortunately for him, he thinks the tribe's name was Agri, and that they lived near the Fon tribe in what is now called the People's Republic of Benin.
That is incredible, Gabriel. I must go research this new information in my library right now.
Wait, what should I do?
Stay low. If you get a chance, you might look into the possibility that Tetelo's remains are somewhere in New Orleans. But don't try to broach their private areas without my assistance, Gabriel. You will make a fine Schattenjäger, but only if you are not dead.
Sure, I'll wait.
Bye then, Gabriel. And remember, if you need a place of safety, come to Schloss Ritter.
Goodbye, Uncle Wolfgang.
Gabriel might as well leave that here. There's a flashlight on the dresser.
I might need a flashlight.
Times-Picayune, dated June 24th, 1993. There's nothing about the Voodoo murders case in the papers today. Gabriel finds a humorous tidbit under the Life is Stranger Than Fiction column. Apparently, there were reports of ghosts in the Bayou Saint Jean last night. Various people called the newspaper with stories about hearing strange noises and seeing weird lights over the swamp. Some folks claim it's the ghost of Marie Laveau. The paper relates it to similar delusions that crop up every Halloween. Gabriel's horoscope today reads, "Wise is the warrior who knows when to fight and when to get the hell out of dodge."
God help me, I'm actually starting to listen to this guy. Good coffee. I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
Gabriel hears the faint sound of breaking glass.
Dang. You'd think there'd be a light.
Gabriel can't take the drawers.
Mosley! Shit, I dropped my flashlight.
Huh?
Ouch, my head. What the hell was that?
Mosley's body is gone.
There's a wallet in the drawer. There's a wallet in the drawer. It must have fallen from Mosley's jacket when the body was moved. Gabriel doesn't see anything there he wants to take home. It's a man's wallet. Gabriel opens the wallet and finds some ID belonging to Mosley and an American's repressed card. Mosley's American's repressed card. Credit. What a concept. The card has Mosley's name written on it. It expires next month.
Where have you been? I was worried about you.
For good reason, apparently.
What happened? Do you need a doctor?
Nothing you want to know about, and no, just some aspirin.
Gabriel, this is nuts. You have to get out of New Orleans.
No kidding.
Well, listen. Wolfgang called while you were out. He said, and I quote, "Tell Gabriel that I found what I was looking for. It's time for me to do my duty. Schloss Ritter is his now." Now, call me crazy, but I don't think that's good news.
Not for Uncle Wolfie, no.
What are you gonna do?
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Somewhere there's a New Orleans phone book missing one of its C pages.
Hello. See the World Travel Agency. How may I help you?
How much for a trip to Rittersburg, Germany?
Rittersburg, Germany? Hold on, let me look that up. I can fly you into Munich. That's the closest airport to Rittersburg. You can rent a car from there, or take the train. Let's see. The best price I can see for the flight is $1,400. What would you like to do?
Charge it to my Americans repressed.
Yes, sir. And your name was?
Mosley.
Feeling a little guilty, Gabriel gives the travel agent Mosley's card number and is informed that he can pick up his ticket at the New Orleans International Airport.
Guess what? I'm going to Germany.
Really? That's great, but how on earth could you afford?
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Oh my God. I wouldn't like the sound of that even if you were a man.
I'll miss you too, Grace. Goodbye, Gracie.
Good luck. Let me know what's going on, will you?
Of course.
Gabriel picks up his tickets at the airport and boards a plane for Munich.
Wolfgang?
Hello. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Herr Knight. Oh, kommen Sie bitte, Herren. I mean, come in, please, Herr Knight. I was not expecting you. Has Wolfgang sent you here?
Uncle Wolfgang? No, I came to see him. Isn't he here?
No, he is gone. I'm sorry. You came all this way.
Oh, great. That's all I need.
Herr Knight, Wolfgang told me all about you and gave me instructions for you to feel welcome here. Please, this is your home. You are a Ritter, no? I am just doing some work. I will continue and you may make yourself comfortable. If there is anything you need, please ask me. You may use Wolfgang's bedroom. It is at the top of the stairs.
Thank you, Miss,
You may call me Gerda, Herr Knight.
It's the biggest bed Gabriel has ever seen. The head of a lion stares at Gabriel from above the door. Near the bed is an elaborate wooden door. The portal says, Nur der Reinste darf passieren. Diesen Herz ist rein wie Glas. Diesen Seele rein wie Führer, schreitet Hörner durch Portal. 3 panels hang from each side of the chapel. Gabriel cannot determine what their purpose might be. A magnificent stained glass window depicts the legendary battle between St. George and the dragon. 3 panels hang from each side of the chapel. Gabriel cannot determine what their purpose might be.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Wolfgang is the only one who would know about that.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
What murders?
In New Orleans.
Oh, I have not heard of them. I am sorry.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I have never left Germany, Herr Knight. Perhaps someday you will tell me about it.
Do you know anything about snakes?
We do have snakes here in Germany, but I do not know much about them.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I have never heard of such a day.
Do you have any idea what Cabris encore means?
That is not in a language I understand. So sorry.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo hound fool?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Do you know anything about veves?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Does the name Ogoun Badagris mean anything to you?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
That is something Wolfgang would know about, Herr Knight.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
As Wolfgang may have told you, Schattenjäger means shadow hunter. The Ritter family have always been Schattenjägers. It is a kind of priesthood, though not as restrictive as most.
Do you know anything about rider drums?
Is that some sort of music? I do not know much about music, but I like the Beatles.
What can you tell me about those wall panels in the chapel?
The hangings? They describe the Schattenjäger initiation ceremony.
Tell me about the Schattenjäger initiation ceremony.
Each young man of the Ritter line must go through the ceremony when he dedicates himself to be a Schattenjäger.
But what does the ceremony do?
I do not know, Herr Knight. The only people present are the old Schattenjäger and the new. But I think it must be similar to a priest's ordination or a wedding, a ceremony of intent and oath.
You.
Is there a problem, Herr Knight?
You said wedding. I'm okay now. Tell me about Wolfgang.
What would you like to know?
Where do you think Wolfgang went?
I don't know, but I have a feeling he has gone off to go be Schattenjäger again. He is too old for such chasing around. His heart is very weak. He has not left this castle for 5 years, and now this.
Do you know when he'll be back?
I only pray he will be back. Before he left, he said Schloss Ritter now belongs to Gabriel. It worried me so to hear him say that. I'm afraid Wolfgang knew he would never return.
What is Wolfgang like?
Wolfgang is a truly wise and good man, the best I have ever known. But his life has been so full of disappointments.
What kind of disappointments?
His only son died in infancy, so there was no one to carry on the family line. And the family's financial troubles have been hard on him. Wolfgang wanted to do so much for the world, but it was all he could do just to hold on to Schloss Ritter. He has not left his mark as he wished to.
What is your relationship with Wolfgang?
Herr Knight, my relationship with your uncle is really none of your business.
You're right, Gerda. I apologize. Forget I asked. Can you show me Wolfgang's library?
How do you know about his library?
When we talked on the phone, he said he was going to do some research in his library. I thought maybe if I saw what he was researching.
Ah, yeah. A good idea, Herr Knight, but I'm afraid I cannot show you the library. You see, I have never been in it. Only a Schattenjäger can enter the library.
I see. Just tell me anything.
Wolfgang has dedicated his entire life to the role of Schattenjäger.
Just tell me anything.
He has not had a very happy life, but I have done my best to provide him with a little comfort.
Just tell me anything.
He thought he was the last of the Ritter line until he found out about you.
Just tell me anything.
He knows the history of the Ritter family from many centuries past.
Just tell me anything.
He's a good man, a strong man. I am fond of him.
Just tell me anything.
Wolfgang has dedicated his entire life to the role of Schattenjäger.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
As you like, Herr Knight.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
I can tell you what they say in the village, what I heard when I was small. To the villagers, the Ritters are a little, how do you say, tragic, to be pitied. They say that the Ritters were chosen by God to fight evil, but something happened. One of them was cursed, and so the Ritters lost the way. They struggle still, but like a lame dog, you see? Without the power or magic they once had.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter has stood for many centuries, no one knows how long. It was once the pride of Bavaria, but now it is in disrepair. Wolfgang received offers to open the castle for tourists. He has resisted though, even though the castle is in desperate need of repairs. To him, this ground is sacred.
Tell me something about yourself.
I was born in Rittersburg, the village below the castle.
Tell me something about yourself.
I'm not well traveled, but Wolfgang has been kind and has tutored me in many subjects. It was from him I learned to speak English. He must have sensed you were coming, Herr Knight, and that you would have need of me.
Tell me something about yourself.
I'm very devoted to my position here, with Wolfgang.
Tell me something about yourself.
I love Rittersburg. No place on earth could be as beautiful.
Tell me something about yourself.
I was born in Rittersburg, the village below the castle.
There are some words over the locked door in Wolfgang's bedroom. What do they mean?
Ah, yes. Wolfgang had me translated as part of my English lessons. In English it means, only the purest here may pass. He whose heart is pure as glass, he whose soul is pure as fire, through this portal passes higher.
Great. Thanks.
Thinking of the first chapel panel, Gabriel washes his hands in the snow. There's a small pair of grooming scissors on the cabinet. Gabriel takes the scissors. Thinking of the second chapel panel, Gabriel cuts his hair.
I hate this. There, that's plenty.
It's a chamber pot.
Take me back to the 20th century, please.
A large display case hangs on the wall. It contains a scroll.
This scroll looks interesting.
The scroll from the display case is very old.
St. George, patron of the light, who hunts the shadows of the night. Upon my blood I call thee now, purify me, for I avow to set my feet upon thy road, thy sword I take up for mine own. St. George, patron of, upon my blood to set my this dagger.
It is the knife of a Schattenjäger. You may take it, Herr Knight. Everything in this castle is yours now.
It's a shaker of salt.
Is that a shaker of salt?
Yeah, salt.
Mind if I take it?
No?
Thanks.
Thinking of the third panel, Gabriel puts the chamber pot on the altar. Thinking of the third panel, Gabriel pours the contents of the salt shaker into the chamber pot. Thinking of the fourth panel, Gabriel holds his arm over the chamber pot and nicks it with the dagger.
Oops, nearly hit an artery.
Gabriel is already trying to find a proper use for the chamber pot here. Thinking of the fifth panel, Gabriel kneels at the altar. Thinking of the sixth panel, Gabriel reads the scroll.
St. George, patron of the light, who hunts the shadows of the night, upon my blood I call thee now, purify me, for I avow to set my feet upon thy road, thy sword I take up for mine own.
It worked. Something's happening.
Oh, excuse me. I was just vacuuming. I did not know you were in here.
Oh, that's all right. I've done about all I can do in here anyway. I give up.
You look tired, Herr Knight. Why don't you go to bed?
Sure, why not?
I will clean everything up. You need not worry.
I can't believe I cut my hair for nothing.